Hello everyone. In this session we will understand MDI, and MDI stands for Multiple Document Interface. Multiple Document Interface specifies that you can open multiple documents at the exact same time, and basically how it looks like. So this is my one instance of Visual Studio. I can open another instance of Visual Studio. So this is going to be the second instance of Visual Studio, right? In that way I can open multiple documents. So that is known as multiple document interface. These interfaces or these applications instances are completely independent with each other. Okay, so my another Visual Studio is not very related or not very dependent with the with this application, okay, or with this instance of that. So these are completely independent of each other. A very good example is Visual Studio, and there is something called as SDI, that is single document interface, where you can only have one instance of that particular application. You can run only one instance, okay, that is single document interface. I don't remember any example, but you can actually find it on Google. So let's get into the practical part and see how exactly we can work with MDI. So this is my new project. I named it as MDI demo. Solution Explorer, toolbox ready, and we have a completely empty form here. So the first thing we're gonna do is I'm going to drag and drop menu strip. So this is my menu strip. I drag and dropped here, and then I will say this is my form 1. I'll say the next is form 2. The next is form 3. Okay, there is no good UI for this, but I'm just creating it. Okay, so this is my form 1, and you see if I click on form 1 I have form 2 and form 3. So exactly I need another other two forms, right? So I will say MDI demo in the project. I'll right click on that and I'll say add, and add a new window form. This is going to be form 2, and I add it. I need another one, that is form 3. So I have form 3. So I have form 1, form 2 and form 3. Okay, so now what we want, I need that this application or this form 1 is going to be my parent. Okay, this is my parent application, and form 2 and form 3 is going to be loaded inside this form 1. Okay, you're getting my point here. So the thing is, see here, so this is my parent here, and inside this boundary my another document is going to be open inside this boundary. Okay, I can open multiple instances of the application. So this is my application 1, this is my application 2, and the application 3. So this is going to be 1, 2 and 3, and many more if you want to read, but this is going to be the parent. Okay, so this is my parent here. So this is my parent form, and inside that I can open child forms. Okay, they are not completely independent, but they are somehow dependent with each other. This is my parent and they are the child. So the form 1 here is my parent, and form 2 and form 3 are going to be the child, and they will open inside this form 1. So I need to enable one property, and that property name is MDI equals to true. So I need to find that. So I will say uh, form 1, right click and go to properties, and inside that we have is MDI. You need to find that out. So I will find it, is MDI here. Yeah, here. This is MDI container. It is false right now. So if I make it true, okay, so you'll see its gray part has been loaded. So now, right now this is going to be your MDI. So form 1 is going to be MDI, multiple document interface, parent of it. Inside that I will open form 2 and form 3. Now what I need to do is I'll click on this form 1 and I will double click on this form 2, specifically on this form 2. I'll double click it. So I'll double click. It will generate one event, and that event name is form 2 tool strip menu click. Okay, so this is a click event, and inside this event I will write the code to open that form 2. So how exactly I'm gonna write it? I'll say I'll globally declared over here that form 2 f2, and I will say here f2 equals to new form 2, and I will also say that f2 dot mdi parent equals to this. So right now uh, right now we are in the form 1, so form 1 is going to be parent of f2. Okay, and I will say f2 dot show. So this code is going to be open f2 here. In a very similar way, I will write a code for if form 3 here. Okay, I need to do some condition here. Let me go again, and I will say here if f2 equals to null, if f2 equals to null, then please open this. This is going to be okay. In this way it will work. Or else if it is not there, then please on the else part you can write anything you want to do. Okay, completely depends on you. Now now for the same thing we need to do in the form 3. So I will click on the form 3. It will generate the tooltip menu item click event, and inside that we're going to write the same thing. Form 3 if 3 equals to new form 3, and I will say f3 dot MDI parent equals to this, and I'll say f3 please show it. So this 3 line of code is going to be open your form 3, and whatever the content that you had put it inside form 2 and form 3 is going to be loaded over here. So if you want to see the run application, it looks like something like this. This is my form 1, a parent one. So if I now click on the form 2, the form 2 is going to be loaded. Again, if I do form 2, the form 2 is going to be loaded. And why is that so? Because we have taken this condition here. See, if f2 equals to null, if you remove this, then there are multiple instances of form 2. See, if you want to see this right now, let me remove this part and again this part, and let me remove this too. So if you do this, then if you run it, then form 2, if you again press form 2, the second instance of form 2 is going to be loaded again. So they are going to be multiple instances of form 2. So to prevent that, we are making one condition, that is f2 equals to null, then please show the thing, otherwise no problem. Okay, so this is the thing. And the same way, if you want to open form 3 is going to be loaded, form 2 is going to be loaded, like that. Okay, so right now we don't have any content inside the form 2 and form 3. You see here they are completely blank. So let's say we put something inside that. Okay, so how we can do that is go to your form 2 design, and you can put something here. So right now I'm just making a simple exemplary example. So I'll just say let me change the label. I'll say welcome to the student database. That's it. I'm not going to worry about so many things. It's going to be simplest one. So this is my welcome to the student database. Now in the form 3, what I can do, I can load a grid view here. So let me take one grid. Don't worry about the grid view and all. I'm just putting some content. You can put anything you want to. Okay, right now just for simple example, I'm just putting one grid view. And grid view is basically one data table, a kind of table where we can load some information from the database. Okay, right now I don't have any database, so I can create my database. So to create a database, you can go to add new item and go to data, go to service-based database. We have two databases. Local database have an extension of SDF, and service-based database having an extension of MDF. You can use service-based database. Okay, so I have a database. I will put some entries of student there, and then load that entries from the data table inside this grid view. Okay, so this is how I want to do. So I go to my server explorer. I have database here. I will create one table, and table is going to be ID, say integer. I'll say name, and then this is going to be varchar city, varchar country, varchar email, varchar phone, varchar department, varchar. These are the entries that I want to put. ID would going to be primary keys, and I need to make the the identity increment. So it is going to be 1 2 3 automatically. It is going to be, so for that I'll make this understandable in my IDEA.NET session, but right now just make the settings what I'm making it out here. Okay, so is identity is going to be yes, double click on that. So what exactly we are doing here, identity specification, it's something like in your data table. So this is your data table. Let me just um, okay, so this is my data table. What this identity specification is going to, why we are changing from no to yes is basically, see, your data table, your table is ready here. When you open this, show table data, you have entries here: ID, name, city, country, email, phone, and department. So this ID is going to be, if we don't do that, if we don't provide this yes here, then you need to manually input the IDs here, like 0, then 1, then 2, and 3. Now because of that reason, we are changing this is identity to yes. Now this property is going to be, how it can be helpful to us. It will automatically increment, or it will automatically increase the count rate of this ID. So it's going to be 1, then 2, then 3. It is going to be automatically, not manually. So that's why we are putting this is identity yes. Okay, so let's create let's put some entries inside the data table. So I'll say Nilesh, city is India, email okay. So this is the entries. The next entry is going to be test, 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 and the test. You see, the entries are automatically okay. So now this table is going to be loaded inside this form 3. How we can do, we are creating a data driven thing. Okay, so I will click on this button, you see here button, I'll say, and I will say choose the data source. So I will say add project data source. Inside that database, next, next, see, it find our database 1.mdf, and I have this database. So if he find the database, then he can definitely find the table. So I go to next, it connect the connection string, then you see it will fetch the table here. See here, it's retrieving the database information, and then within a few seconds it will show you the data table here. It takes, oh yeah, okay, so it finds out the table. See, there is table dnew. So check it out, you check that and then finish. Once it done, you can have the entries. Yeah, so now when you run this, basically when you run this, your application is going to be look like this. Done it. So form 1, I will say form 2, welcome student database, and then when you click on this form 3, you see the entries from the data table is being loaded here. Nilesh, Rajkot, Indian, and the other stuffs that you had put it in your data table. Okay, so this is the simplest example of MDI, multiple document interface, where you can open multiple instances of the document inside a parent form. So this is my form 1 is going to be the parent, and form 2 and form 3 are my child, the applications where the data is being loaded when you click on the menu strip button. Okay, I hope you understood it. Thank you so much for listening to me.